morning. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning and welcome to the October 24, 2024 meeting of the Board of County Commissioners for Shawnee County. My name is Kevin Cook. I serve as the chair this year. Joining me today is Commissioner Aaron Mays. Good morning.
Good morning.
Commissioner Bill Rippon.
Good morning.
Ms. Beck. Good to see you back.
Good morning.
Our county clerk, Ms. Beck, and our county councilor, Mr. Eckert.
Good morning.
Ms. Beck, what do we have first?
Well, I just wanted to make a note that both Rich and I are wearing glasses because since I can't wear my contact, and so we got to put your glasses back on. First item is item 3, consent agenda.
Are there any questions regarding the consent, or is there a motion?
I'll move that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Rippon, second by Commissioner Mays. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Our next item.
Item 4, new business A, county clerk number 1, consider all voucher payments.
4 items to point out on the voucher report today under federal grant, $133,126.67 to Axon Enterprise. That is for the dash cams and the storage on our sheriff's vehicles. Under state grant, $202,561.65 to KBS Constructors. That is for the state-funded portion of the work on the mental health facility at the jail. Under facilities, $75,203 to SciTech. That is for the upgrades to the AV system in the courtroom. And then under solid waste and recycling, $139,358 to Elliott Equipment. That is for a new truck, container truck. So total on this, $2,365,082.57. I don't have any concerns about any of this and would move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. I might note that if you do go drive past the Department of Corrections, you're going to start seeing construction work beginning. So the fences are up, and I know that dirt is being piled up, so work is beginning there. Just noting that that is underway. Ms. Beck, our next item.
Item A2, there are no correction orders because we're in the process of getting our new tax roll ready, so they will be back. A3, consider approval of resolution number 2024-69, authorizing a 2025 cereal malt beverage license to Forbes Golf Course located at 700 Southwest Cape Park Road in Topeka, Kansas. And Commissioners, this, like I said, this is the 2025 cereal malt beverage license for Forbes Golf Course. And the application reviewed by the comptroller's office, and they found that everything to be in order. We, as usual, notified the KBI and the township, and heard nothing back from either of those, so I would ask, please, that you approve this.
Is there any questions?
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Our next item.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Item B, Public Works number 1, consider authorization and execution of KDOT Shawnee County Agreement 785-24, Contract C 334-24, 2024, which provides up to $90,000 to state federal funds for construction and CE. What does CE mean?
Construction engineering.
Construction engineer services relating to a non-geometric safety improvement project on Northwest 45th Street at Northwest Rossville and Northwest Carlson Roads.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kurt Niehaus, Director of Public Works. Yes, we would like to do some curb improvements up there on Northwest 46th Street at Carlson and Rossville Roads. This agreement covers the maximum of $90,000 of state and federal funds. I estimate the total project cost to be $125,000, so that puts our county portion at $35,000. But again, this is an agreement with KDOT, and so I look forward to your questions.
Questions?
What's the timeline on this?
It's got a long, long timeline because it involves federal dollars, so design and things will not be the critical path, so to speak. way more time on this project than it probably needs.
Okay.
It seems, sorry.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
It seems like not a lot of money for straightening a road.
Remember, these are non-geometric, so we're not changing the curves in any way. What we're doing is putting some, like rumble strips, we're extending shoulders, we're putting in some pavement markings. These are non-geometric things that we hope will improve visibility so that people don't overshoot the curve, et cetera, et cetera.
So we're not actually straightening the road, we're
Nope.
just, okay.
Yep.
All right.
I would move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Rippon, second by Commissioner Mays. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, passes 3-0. Our next item.
Item B2, consider authorization and execution of contract C 335-2024 with Trans Systems Corporation of Wichita, Kansas, to provide professional services relating to the development of a comprehensive safety action plan at a not-to-exceed cost of $210,000. 10% of the cost, $21,000, will be paid by using Public Works Special Road Improvement Funds or the 2024 through 2026 operational funds.
Courtney House, Director of Public Works. This is a contract with a consultant that will create our comprehensive safety action plan. This plan is needed for us to apply for grants. They're called implementation grants. And by implementation, they implement some of the recommendations from your comprehensive safety action plan. They're essentially projects, and in order for us to, again, apply for those project grants, we need to have this safety plan, and this contract with a consultant will accomplish that. We're leveraging $21,000 into $210,000. I look forward to your questions.
Okay. Kurt, there are people in the public that criticize any time a governmental body hires a consultant.
Mhm.
Why can't we just do this in-house?
Well, I have 3 engineers on staff, and they're all quite busy. It takes a lot of time to put these things together. It's not just getting down at a computer screen and start typing. We're gonna have to have public meetings, we have to do traffic studies, we have to analyze accident statistics. Those things take time, they take a lot of time. I do not have the staff for that. Furthermore, in order to hire and bring on board staff to do this kind of work, think you're paying salary, fringe benefits, it would cost way more than $210,000.
Excellent answer. Thank you, Kurt.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
No.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, passes 3-0. Thank you, Kurt. Our next item.
Item B3, consider approval of a project budget and a request to solicit construction bids for a bridge replacement project on Northwest 35th Street over a tributary to Soldier Creek. This project's construction will be funded using proceeds from the 1/2 cent 2017 to 2031 countywide retailers sales tax program.
Courtney House, Director of Public Works. Our bridge program never ceases. We are always in the process of replacing bridges, mostly using countywide sales tax funds. And for 2025, our first project is to replace the bridge on Northwest 35th over a tributary to Soldier Creek. The existing bridge has got a steel superstructure that is in an advanced state of degradation. So it's time that we replace this bridge. We hope to let the project in December and start work in February of next year. Again, I say it many times, I look forward to your questions.
Bill?
Remind us once again, how many bridges do we have?
261.
So if you do the math, you better be doing a number of them every year.
That's exactly right.
So, okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
Kurt, what's the cross streets near here? Any idea?
I'm sorry.
Okay. I mean, I just look at, tributary over Soldier Creek, it's like, who knows where that could be? I mean,
Yeah.
I know where Soldier Creek is, but,
Yeah.
okay.
I
well,
can email you where that and show you.
It's fine. Well, I know that 35th Street is a pretty well-traveled road up there.
Uh-huh.
There's
It
some
sure
big
is.
neighborhoods, and so we just want to make sure that the people around there know well in advance that we're going to be tearing out a bridge.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No, I would move for approval.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Rippon,
Second.
second by Commissioner Mays. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Our next item.
Item B4, consider a request to solicit bids for or to waive bidding procedures and direct purchase various road and culvert maintenance materials for 2025 and the winter of 2025-2026. Funding for these materials will come from various sources, but most often from the 2025 and 2026 Public Works operating budget.
For the last time, I hope, Kurt Niehaus, Director of Public Works. Normally, this item is a consent item, but this year, I'd like to do a couple things different. Number one, normally, traffic paint, we get that from the Lansing, the penitentiary. What I would like to start doing is putting this out for bids. Last year, if you recall, I received permission from the commission body that we bought some paint from Swarco. Swarco provided that paint at a lower price, and it's a better quality product. So what I'd like to do for 2025 is to bid paint, receive bids, and we have a specification ready to go. So that is one of the big changes. And the second is, in the past, we have solicited bids for asphalt, but quite realistically, I mean, absolutely. There's only one supplier in the area. And in 2 of the last 3 years, after receiving bids, I negotiated with the lowest, with the single bid provider, I negotiated an even lower price. So what I'd like to do for 25 is to negotiate an asphalt price with Bettis, because they are the only supplier. And likewise, in the past, for tack oil, we just bought it, we went to the facility, we bought it, and they invoiced us and we paid it. I'd like to negotiate with Bettis on a year-long negotiated price for tack oil. So those are the changes. They were substantial enough that I wanted you to know about them and to talk about them, and with that, I look forward to your questions.
Kurt, prior to this meeting, you and I had talked about the asphalt and what other options we have. With Bettis being our only provider in a local area, you have explained to me that it's just probably not economical for other companies to come in from outside of this region to provide us the asphalt. And then the only other option would be if the county considered making their own asphalt plant, which would not seem to be an economical opportunity for us. Is that?
There are counties in Kansas, I'm thinking of western Kansas, that do operate their own asphalt plant. I don't think it's viable in Shawnee County. You gotta have people that know how to operate and maintain such a plant. I think if you were able to talk to these counties that had their own asphalt plant, and they had an option of a private provider versus having their own plant, I'm guessing they'd love to get out of the asphalt business.
Other questions? Commissioner Mays?
So for the winter, you've got de-icing salt, sand, and calcium chloride. Do we use any of the prune juice stuff?
We have
the
not, because it's
pre-treating?
been quite expensive.
Okay.
Yeah. And in the county here, I do believe sodium chloride, salt, road salt is really the most cost-effective product that we can purchase.
Okay. Fair enough. I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kurt. Our next item.
Item C, Department of Corrections. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C 336-2024, a 1-year agreement with Waldinger Corporation for maintenance of the HVAC controls within the Adult Detention Center for an amount of $5,850 to be paid from the detention budget.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tim Phelps, Department of Corrections. This item, we actually have 2 different HVAC controls companies, and Waldinger manages a very small percentage of the original equipment that we had, and so it's a smaller amount that we have to pay for an annual, and I'm working on trying to figure out a way to tie it into our other system so that we don't pay the base rate to two different companies because they have to put their computer in and that kind of thing. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any other questions you have.
Any questions? I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next item.
Item D, Facilities Management. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C337-2024 with Guardian Electric to install new high bay lighting at Public Works area shops in accordance with the EECBG grant award.
Good morning, Commissioners. Nelda Henning, Director of Facilities Management. A little over a year ago, we applied for the EECBG grant to save on utility costs. We made the recommendation to replace the high bay lighting in the area shops because this is an area that doesn't usually get much attention, and it could use it at this point. We were given an award to do this project, and we put it out for bid. Guardian Electric was the only bidder for the project. Audit Finance and Purchasing worked with them to get them to meet all the requirements of the grant, and so we're ready to move forward with the contract. The contract amount is $98,550. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions?
Uh,
Rippon?
What does this replace? Is it, are they old fluorescents and we're putting LED or?
We are replacing 2x4 fluorescent fixtures with high bay LED lighting. These light fixtures, they're fantastic. We're expecting to get better quality light for the shops to be able to work on the maintenance of the vehicles.
Again, it seems a little dark in there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I would move for approval.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Rippon. Second by Commissioner Mays. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Thank you. Our next item.
Item E, Parks and Recreation. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C339-2024, lease agreements with Yamaha Motor Finance Corporation USA related to the early renewal option as provided for in contract C393-2021. The agreement pertains to a lease for new and used fleet golf cars and utility cars.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tim Laurent, Parks and Recreation Department. So we have used Yamaha golf carts for quite some time now. We find them to be extremely reliable, and when we do have trouble with them, they're easy to work on. We have a good relationship with Yamaha and their golf division. I did meet with Jennifer Sauer to go through this lease and make sure she was comfortable with us moving forward. And with that, I would be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Questions for Tim?
I'll move for approval.
I'll second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Rippon. I might just note that I had to read the memo probably 3 times of golf cars versus golf carts.
Yeah.
But I actually, on the Yamaha memo, it does say golf cars, and
That's how
so
they refer to it.
I
correct.
learned a thing, that Yamaha sees them as golf cars and not golf carts.
They're not the only ones.
So-
Yeah.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Thank you. Our next item.
Item F, Sheriff's Office. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of contracts C340-2024 and C341-2024. Renewal agreements with Etzel Family Limited Partnership for lease of office space and storage space for the Sherwood Outpost. Term of both leases are from 11/1/2024 to 10/31 of 2029. Both lease payments would be made out of the sheriff's active reserves account. The annual lease amount for the office space is $2,782.03, with an annual increase of 3%, and the annual lease amount for the storage lease is $1,248.36, with annual increase of 3%.
Morning, Commissioners. Sam Leo and Shawnee County Sheriff. This is a continued contract with our Sherwood Outpost in the 3400 Urish Road. It's for the building and the storage unit as well as the adjacent storage area. This will be paid for out of our active reserves account. Just a continuation from the current contract we have with the price increase, of course.
And again, much like the item of last week, as this extends beyond the term of the sheriff, it's a motion to approve as a motion, as opposed to a motion to acknowledge.
Correct.
Any other questions?
I'll move for approval.
I'll second.
Motion to approve the contract with Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Thank you. Our next item.
Item G, Commission, number 1, consider canceling the November 7th commission meeting.
As we might note or got notice, there is a State of the Community meeting on November the 7th, and that would be the reason for the cancellation of that morning's meeting. I'll make a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion to cancel the November 7th meeting by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Our next item.
Item G2, consider the appointment of a voting delegate and alternate for the annual KAC conference to be held December 3rd through the 5th.
The Kansas Association of Counties is having their conference in Wichita on December the 3rd through the 5th. There are items that the association would be voting on, and the indication is that Commissioner Mays, you're going to be attending?
Yeah.
And then would you be willing to serve as the voting delegate?
Yeah.
And then County Councilor Eckert, you're also attending?
Yes, sir.
And would you be willing to be the alternate?
Yes, sir.
Okay. With that, I'd make a motion designating Commissioner Mays as the delegate and County Councilor Eckert as the first alternate. That would be a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Our next item.
Item 5, public comment.
This is an opportunity for any member of the public to address the commission.
Henry McClure, Topeka, Kansas, Shawnee County. A friend of mine called me the other day and pointed out that the Hatch Act says if any entity accepts any federal funds, they can't engage in any political involvement. And I haven't had time to research it. Still working on Lawrence Bay in my spare time. But basically, the Hatch Act would say that, let's take, for example, the Greater Topeka Partnership. And if any of the entities that they manage, whether it's Visit Topeka, Go Topeka, Downtown Topeka, the Chamber, even the Greater Topeka Partnership, if they receive any federal funds whatsoever, they can't contribute to political campaigns. And I know tonight at the Viking Grill, you have your fundraiser sponsored by the Greater Topeka Partnership. And I've always said, and I've had such trouble framing the issue, that there's an inherent conflict of interest by having all the eggs in one basket. What I find even more troubling, just as a small business guy here that's had some success from time to time, is that that's the group that is endorsing a candidate that's basically an attorney. That it almost feels like they're trying to hire an attorney to put them in my way. Because I've never had any luck getting anything that I've ever done, Heritage Tractor, 160 Driving Academy, there hasn't been a deal that I've ever done that's qualified as an incentive. And what's even more troubling is where the economic development money has been going lately. So here's the guy, just the fight to get Whataburger to this town. And you could say, well, it's just a hamburger place. Okay, fine. But Chick-fil-A, the Pizza Hut took 2 years to get a building permit. and there's other deals. But I'm the guy that I would think that the Chamber of Commerce or the Greater Topeka Partnership would want to support and endorse. So it's troubling. So we've got researchers looking into the federal dollars, and we gotta start doing some things differently. You know, if you go back to Lawrence Bay, I think that after a phone call with my county commissioner, Kevin Cook, I got an email from Jim Klossman. He was helping me, and he helped. He went ahead and helped make the deal for Mainline. And I'll forward this email. I've saved it. I'll publish it out on my Facebook. But, you know, Henry, you make it so difficult for me to want to help you when you're going behind my back talking about issues at Lawrence Bay. And when did talking to your elected official, when was that going behind your back? Who's really running this town? Think about that. It's been impossible for me to frame this issue, going door to door, talking to people, because they're just worrying about food costs, they're worrying about taxes, they're worrying about roads not being fixed. They too are wondering about all these consultants. Maybe you could hire a guy that's a little more qualified. Maybe it's time for a guy to retire. Maybe there's somebody hungrier. So it's not just me out there. It's not just Henry McClure. If anybody ever wants to run for office, just start going door to door, and you'll find out how broken this community is. You know, I saw the saddest post the other day about the brew bank. And what a bad deal. Basically, COVID put him out of business. The shutdowns, lockdowns. You know, he was doing $100,000 a month before COVID with 50 employees, and it never recovered. The state of Kansas should require all the state employees to come down to work. And I'd love to help this guy. I'd like to try to figure it out. It was a shame. It was a shame that the top tank people made him go downtown. You know, you win, you've got to open it up downtown. And I hope you guys someday can figure out that you can't create a market. The best way to create a market from your standpoint is lower real estate taxes, nice roads, security. I mean, this is going to be economic development tomorrow. It is today. I'm going to get that camera system for my office to where I can hook up 4 cameras and share, you know, give them camera angles that they can view. It's the most beautiful system known to man. And what a better way to make our community safer. I encourage all private business people to go out and look into that Fusus, I think it's called. Appreciate the opportunity to come down and talk to y'all. Thank you. Have a good day.
Good morning, Molly Howie, President of Go Topeka. And I just wanted to play off of something that Mr. McClure mentioned. He mentioned the mainline project, and I just checked my notes real quick. There were 20 new jobs added in that project and $10 million in capital investment. So Go Topeka was happy to support that expansion project of one of our existing employers, and that was something that went through the JADO body, and appreciate your support on that project. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment this morning? Our next item.
Item 6, Administrative Communications.
This is an opportunity for any department head or employee to address the commission.
Good morning, Commissioners. Angela Lewis, Director of Administrative Services. Just a reminder, open enrollment ends tomorrow. We have about 110 employees who still haven't completed open enrollment. We'd ask you to go in and complete your enrollment or sign a waiver form. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
I will get it done today.
Thank you.
Tim Laurent, Parks and Recreation. So I have a few things I'd like to talk about here quickly. Patrick Shaw, who runs the pro shop and operations really at Lake Shawnee Golf Course. Patrick was awarded the Merchandiser of the Year for public facilities in the Flint Hill chapter of the PGA. Just for reference, that Midwest chapter or section, it's actually called, has 104 public facilities in it. So quite a few facilities, and he was awarded that. So this will make him eligible for even a larger regional and national award down the line. So, and this is his first year of doing it. You know, he wasn't in charge before we switched over operations. So we're really happy for Patrick. And as we enter the holiday season, remember, you can go down there and buy something for the golfer in your family or a gift card and work with Patrick and Penny out at Cypress Ridge. So we've got some upcoming fall Halloween themed events that I'd like to touch on just briefly. We've got Ghost Stories October 25th at Old Prairie Town. We've got the Spookamotive, the mini train, which I'm going to talk a little bit more about the mini train in a minute, on October 26th, obviously at Gage Park. We've got the Garfield Ghost Walk on October 26th. We can explore the lost history of Soldier Creek and North Topeka. And then the ever-popular Zombie Prom, October 26th at Great Overland Station. So some Halloween-themed events. We didn't come down here, I didn't come down here last year and give any sort of report on the mini train. You know, we got the electric mini train in the beginning of 2023. But I just received some interesting news a couple of days ago, and I kind of wanted to share it with everybody, that in this year, 2024, we've had 10,545 more riders on the train than we had last year. And I think a lot of that is due just even, you know, it took us a little while to get the mini train on up and running, and then we had a few technical issues that we had to sort through. But ridership continues to rise. We've done $30,359 more in revenue this year than we did last year, even with the mini train. And in the last year of operation for the old diesel engine, compare that to this year, we've spent $21,660 less on maintenance. So I think switching to the electric train has been good for the rides are increasing and the maintenance costs are going down. So I think seeing some good numbers.
Very good.
That's
great.
it.
Wow. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Dusty Nichols, Emergency Management. I'm kind of stepping to the side of the emergency management side and just going to talk elections for just a second. We've been assisting them at their facility with safety. They are doing record numbers over there, and the traffic is a little congested. So anybody voting early, which everybody highly encourages, please go. It's open now until Election Day. You can't vote there on Election Day, so there's a lot of people doing it now. Be careful. People are parking across the streets in different parking lots. There's no real crosswalks there. They do have safety personnel, people out there helping direct traffic. So I'm just putting it out there. Please be careful. Please be careful. So, thank you.
Thank you. I note have been record numbers at the elections office, and they broke their all-time one-day record on the first day, and so it's very busy, but they are moving people very smoothly through and not a long wait. Other administrative communications this morning. Commissioner Rippon, anything?
I had the opportunity yesterday to help tour, 50, 60 second graders at Word Mead. And I've stationed in the drugstore and dentist's office, doctor's office, and a great group of kids coming through. And our own Becky, yes, was one of the moms helping bring the kids through the whole process there, and it was a good day. So it's always good to have the young people out there to educate them a little bit about what life was like around the turn of the century. So
Yeah.
it was all good.
Very good. Thank you for doing that. Commissioner Mays?
So Dusty mentioned early voting. I don't think you said the hours. So it's 8 to 7, Monday through Friday, until next Friday, the 1st. And then on the 4th, the Monday before the election, it's only 8 a.m. till noon. And then they'll take that afternoon away from early voting to get ready for Election Day. So get in there if you can.
Yep. I would concur with all of that. And otherwise, it's going to be a busy weekend, so be safe. Our next item.
Item 7, executive session.
There is not a need for an executive session today, so we are adjourned.